Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today is going to be sort of similar to last time, a little bit of a vlog style video with a sit down and a catch up of me going through my future plans, what I'm going to be doing for my next competitive season, and my journey from stage 2023 to where I am now, and what I've done to bring up my physique. I will be going to the gym shortly to do a very quick accessory based session, and I've got a couple of posing clients today. I might not film bits from there just because I know these guys will just be wanting to crack on and get their sessions in. They're quite far into their preps. And then I will be doing a little bit of cardio after. I'm probably not going to fit that in before because it is 6:20 and the first session's at 8:30. And then we'll get home and I'll sit down with you guys and we'll run through a little bit of my future competitive plans and how I've got to where I've got to so far. Anyway, I'm repeating myself now, but it is super early in the morning, 6:20. I'm going to get this pre-workout meal down, which I prepared the night before. It's just simply overnight oats with whey protein, blueberries, and some almond butter. Drink this beautiful coffee, and then we'll head to the gym. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Coming in with a little bit of a voiceover from this session. Saturday is my accessory day. So it's basically a tag-on day to some of the volume I miss across the week. So we'll be hitting a little bit more work on the legs, as I only train legs once a week. So some adductors here. There are some calf raises, which I haven't filmed, and a leg press. And then we will hit a little bit of back and also some arms. I didn't film a ton today because I really needed to get moving. And I had a couple, as I mentioned, posing sessions later on. So this adductor machine, the Primal one, it's not my most favorite adductor machine that I've ever tried. Quite heavy with the stack as well. We moved the weight up today, and as you can see, I was struggling a little bit. We only got 6 reps on this slight increase in weight. I think we're close to 100 kilos here. So next time around, I'll be persevering with that. But moving on, we went on to this Gymleco leg press. It's funny, the gym actually got rid of this leg press. Then enough people complained about it that they brought a new one back in because they're like, a brilliant leg press. Everyone loved it. It's one of my favorite leg presses I've ever used. So we're adopting a fairly low stance in this. I don't go super low with my feet. I know a lot of people you'll see online will tend to go really low so that their heels come off. I've tried that and it just gives me a ton of calf pain. So I'd rather go from a position I'm stable with where I can lock my heels in, even if that means a tiny bit sacrifice to knee flex. But because of the nature of this leg press being a steeper angle, it's going to be a little bit of a higher stance anyway. And then the leg press I do on my leg day will be slightly lower stance and more knee flexion. But this was heavy. We were working up to 6 plates side. A little bit of knee valgus here, as you can see that on the right leg, which I'm going to be working on a little bit moving into the next session. And then this was the final movement I recorded today, which was this Pinata single arm pull down. This feels really nice. I recently done a podcast episode on back training, so go and give that a listen. But the focus here is not to try and pull that elbow all the way back. It's just to pull it down and bury it into my back pocket. So we don't need that elbow to go super far back. If you do it that way as well and focus on keeping that sort of left shoulder down, you'll feel that lat being engaged, and this is a really nice movement for the lats. After this, we went straight into a couple posing sessions, and I'll put a clip up from Callum's posing session just to see how I work in a one-to-one in-person session. Let's go. 1, 2, big squeeze, yeah, lovely. Nice, that's much better, okay? Yeah, okay. In front double bicep. Good. Nice. go to the back to the wide strip. Okay, so this, you want to be here. You kind of want, like, remember I said before, you want to keep the arms moving. So you're probably going to go like here. How do you get into that? Did you just kind of go like here and then come around? I can't remember what you
I've
did.
just been sort of going from like here and then coming around and almost.
Yeah, I think that's
still
too,
doing this arm
yeah,
drop.
that's a bit too quick with that spin. So you go here, let's just go drop the arms down to here from the back. So we're going to come here and we're going to step. Okay, so we're going to go from here, we're going to go step like that from the back, good. And then like open up your shoulder blades as well. Yeah. And then we're going to come up. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Right, guys, we are back after a busy morning. I trained, didn't record a lot there. I just wanted to get through the session because we had 2 posing sessions. Both went incredibly well. And those guys started posing with me right at the beginning of their prep. And they're doing some of the Scottish season, which starts in March time. But both guys, their posing has come up a lot. So yeah, class. And I've got another coffee here because I am a little tired. We did attempt some latte art, but it's not the best. So I'm just going to sit down with a coffee and chat to you guys about what I've been doing so far this off season since coming off stage in 2023 to where we are now. And then run through a little bit of my competitive plans for next year as well. So starting off 2023, just a little bit of sort of background to that season. I did the most ever shows I've done in a season. So I did 6 shows that season, which was a lot. So lessons were learned for going into the next season. I'm probably not going to do more than 4 next time around. I think that's almost a bit of a cap for me. 1, from a financial point of view, and then 2, just it draws out the season doing loads and loads of shows, and the look doesn't really improve for me. So I think really, and this could be advice for first timers as well, like a sweet spot if you're doing your first season would be maybe somewhere between 2 to 4 shows. So that's what we will be doing next time around, about that 3 to 4 mark. And yeah, I was a little bit gutted. I'm not gonna lie. Like I set myself some big goals last time. Like the goal was to win my pro card. Do I think I brought a really good look to the stage? There was one show in particular, PCA York. I ended up winning my height class there. It was the best look I brought to stage by far, but I feel like my other looks just weren't me at my best, and that's one thing I really want out my next season is like all my stage looks I want to be proud of, and like, yeah, that is spot on. And it's not just the peak itself, it was some posing errors. So it's something I've like continued to practice throughout my off season is my posing, and something I'll continue to get help with as well, because I went with Kez last time, but I just left it a little bit too late. And he helped me massively. But it was just because I didn't have as much time working with Kez. Next time around, I'll definitely be getting you on board. So Kez, if you're listening to this, I will be in touch shortly at some point to get you to help me with my posing. I do think just practicing it through the off season, it has come up a lot though. So that is a good thing. But yeah, stepping off stage, a little bit gutted again, just because there was a few looks I wasn't happy with, and obviously I fell short of that goal of winning my pro card. So since then, I went straight into a bit of an off season. Post show was a little bit, it was tricky, but at the same time, I think it was like the most manageable post show phase I've had, because I've done a few preps now. I kind of know what to expect. It was tricky in the sense that I wasn't sure like when our next compete would be, and I had originally toyed with the idea of 2025, and then it got pushed back to this year, and now my competitive plans are to compete next year in 2027, just with how busy life is this year. And we have some competitive clients, which I'm really grateful for, having the opportunity to take my own clients to the stage. So we have Villy and Jamie up first, who both look incredible. I'll put some photos up on screen now, and they'll be competing in the first timer shows at the beginning of this year. And then we'll have another couple of competitors towards the back end of the year as well. I'll keep that quiet for now, but I'll chat a little bit in a later video. So this year, I was just like, there's a lot going on and a lot of personal stuff going on, exciting stuff, but just, next year is going to be a much better year in terms of everything lining up. So that is the initial plan. And I guess I'm digressing away from what I was originally saying. So since 2023, I have been in an off season, and I went through an initial push up, and I pushed all the way up to around about 98 kilos in 2024. And that was around about the summertime. Did a mini cut in 2024 to pull me back down to around about that sort of 90 to 91 kilo mark. From there, I did another gradual push up, and this is where I've done quite a few push ups, but that took me into 2025. And it was around about this time last year, sort of February time, that I started my second sort of mini cut, and that was also a cut towards my wedding, and I extended it a little bit long. I think it was about 10 weeks in total, and I took my body weight again sort of around about that 98 to 99 kilo mark, all the way down to around 89 kilos, and I found that pretty effortless. It was surprising how easy it was to come down to that weight, and was also very happy with the look at that weight. It's the best I would say I'd looked at 89 kilos. And that really has set me up nicely in this third push-up. I know that's a long time, but what I will say is, a natural competitor, it takes the years. So if you need to make improvements, and there's small margins here, even if you're someone who's been training a long time, and you're falling short of getting that result you want, it might still take you that long duration to make those tiny little improvements to come back better. And I can see the difference. I'll put some photos up on the screen now just to kind of show you the difference there from the sort of beginning of this off season to where we are now, like post show to where we are now, and kind of the difference there. I know those photos aren't the best, but I've been tracking my data along the way through progress photos every single week, through my body weight, scale weights, through my gym, my strength progressions, to keep on track and make sure that I'm making the necessary improvements to be competitive. So the improvements that I really felt like I need to make for stepping on stage next time is to have a little bit more lat width, to display a little bit more taper, especially in those front shots. I don't have the smallest of waist, so to hide that waist, I need to make sure I'm bringing up my lats, okay? I am quite big, I'm quite bubbly up top, so I don't need to make tons and tons of improvements, but comparing myself to some of the WNBF boys, these are big boys, so I've continued to kind of develop my chest and work on my chest, and side delts to make sure they're definitely not a weak point. Abs is something I've been relentless with this off season as well, just making sure they're consistently hit. And it's something a lot of first time competitors after the first season will not continue to do. So make sure you train your abs in your off season. I've kept them consistently in at twice a week. And it's something beforehand I hadn't done. Even though I've got pretty good ab genetics, I can see my abs now at 98 kilos, which just gets me excited for dieting down and seeing what they visually look like when I'm in stage levels of condition. So that's something I've been working on. And then, of course, the posing needs a little bit of finesse and work on. On top of that, all the final touches, peak week touches, which will come closer to stage time, as I mentioned, next year will be the year. My plan is to mainly do WNBF shows, but potentially do PCA Naturals and the MBW show. That's still to be decided, so I'm not going to say anything at the moment because I can't tell you with certainty, right? But yeah, I will kind of confirm that closer to when I actually step into prep. But yeah, that is pretty much the update. That's where we're at. We're sitting at 98 kilos, and the next stage is to go through again a little bit of a mini cut, but that's going to come around about April time, which will almost act as kind of a bit of a pre-prep diet. But I will go into another gaining phase after, another push-up phase after that, but just much slower. So I'll start prep probably around about 92 to 93 kilos, which is a big difference compared to last time when I started at 102 kilos. It just means I have a lot less weight to strip off. The process itself can be done at a much more gradual rate. It'll be a lot less stressful for me as well. So that is the plan next time around. And yeah, we're gonna just wrap up there. I'm gonna try and finish my coffee off before it gets super cold, but I hope you found this interesting, insightful, and if you've got any questions, I guess in regards to how to structure out your off season, how to make the improvements, or what are the improvements that you need to make, like drop me a message, we can get in touch. You can send me some of your last stage shots and I can maybe give you some suggestions for next time you step on stage. But guys, thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.